Okay, happy, I guess it's Sunday morning, about 9:20. Made it home from the cabin yesterday, so of course we've got absolutely pounded with a storm last night. It just stopped raining within the last couple of minutes. Everything around me is flooded where I live, so that's fun. But I'm gonna make a recommendation for you guys. So Rick Wilson, who's currently he's one of the founding guys for the Lincoln Project, former Republican strategist for decades. He has two podcasts. He does the Lincoln Project podcast twice a week. And he also has another podcast that he does called The Enemies List. I think each one comes out twice a week. They're about 30 minutes long, not a super huge time commitment. He had a guest on the Enemies List podcast a couple days ago, a guy named Ron Filipkowski, all one word on the last name, who I guess is the guy who heads up Midas Touch, the news network that we're all following now. And the two of them had a super interesting conversation about the media environment for the 2024 election. And he talked specifically about, how Donald Trump was going on all of these other podcasts. And Democrats in the Harris campaign were sticking almost exclusively with traditional mainstream media networks and things like that. And he talked at great length about how, even starting back when Trump won the first time, his campaign, Republicans started consistently engaging with these kind of alternative news outlets and specifically podcasts. And that ramped way up following the 2020 election and leading into the 2024 election. And that Democrats, by and large, have a couple of people who do that, but basically just refuse to engage. And he talked at great length about how, by boosting some of these smaller creators on Instagram and Twitter and endorsing them and, pushing them out to wider audiences and going on some of these smaller podcasts and really helping them build their own audiences, that Trump and Republicans basically created this entire new media universe. And that Democrats just didn't engage with it at all. And he thinks that that's a big part of why Trump won this time, even though it was a very narrow victory. Because as we've all seen, it's like people's engagement with legacy media or mainstream media has declined and declined and declined. And especially on the left since Election Day, it absolutely cratered to 50%, 40% of what it used to be before the election. And it's not bouncing back. The audiences for CNN and MSNBC are not returning to them since that decline. But anyway, it's a super interesting discussion that they had about this. I think you guys will like it. It's Rick Wilson's The Enemies List podcast, and his guest was Ron Filipkowski. So check it out. It's free. Hope you enjoy it.